If you're considering playing your assistant manager chip in FPL this week, then you need to be watching this video. And you also need to be watching it if you are looking to play your assistant manager at later points in the season, because we're going to be going through some of the best points to play your assistant manager chip if you're not playing it in game week 24. But of course, we're going to start off by talking about this game week and if it's the right decision to play your assistant manager chip, who to play it on, maybe what managers to move to after you've played it initially in game week 24. If you're an FPL fan and you're not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Hit subscribe on this channel down below. It takes 1 second. It would be very much appreciated. And also drop a like while you're down there, and let's jump straight into the video. So as you can see, 372,000 FPL managers at the time of recording this video have already hit yes on the assistant manager chip. They're already playing it ahead of FPL double game week 24. Some managers have absolutely lost the plot. I don't think people understand what's going on with this chip. It seems like everybody is very, very confused with the way that they're using it. We'll show you in a second how funny it actually is with these people using it. It actually made me laugh quite a lot when I saw this. But yeah, as I say, a lot of people are playing the chip. Already 400,000 people almost playing it. By the time it gets to the end of the week, we might be looking at close to 1 million players, genuinely. Now, this is quite possibly the funniest screenshot of them all. So basically, this is the transfers out on the managers. I don't think people realise once you select your manager, you have to pretty much keep that manager. Otherwise, you are using a free transfer on swapping your managers around, and people are actually swapping it around. Like people have got rid of Arne, sort of 1,300 people. Ireola as well. You're looking at like almost like 5,000 managers that are literally just like swapping their managers about with free transfers. I don't think they understand that they're actually using transfers. So if you are going to play your assistant manager chip, make sure you are picking the right one and you're sticking with them, because you don't want to be swapping your managers about and using your free transfers before game 24 has even kicked off. So please do not be moving your manager out. Once you pick your manager, stick with that manager. Just looking at the table from last week, this was game week 23, and this is how the managers would have got on. Now, David Moyes, when I talk about a bit more in detail in a bit, but he got 19 points, more points than any other manager with the table win bonus. He was the only person to get a table winning bonus in the whole of game week 23. Obviously, getting that win against Brighton. And he scored 1 goal and got a clean sheet, which meant he got 19 points. Second was Ireola, who played against Nottingham Forest, and they absolutely smashed Nottingham Forest with a clean sheet and scoring 5 goals as well. So very impressive at Ireola coming with 13. That's another manager we will be talking about later on. And Arne we'll be talking about, and Arteta. All these top 4 managers we will be talking about later. And Arne coming in with 9 points. You'd expect that to be quite a regular thing with Arne. You're not going to get absolutely huge amount of points with Arne because you're not going to get that table winning bonus, but you're going to get consistent. Hopefully, you'd expect wins for Liverpool, and then you'd expect quite a decent number of points from Arne across the 3 weeks. So the main manager we're going to talk about is, of course, David Moyes, of course, Arne Slot. We're going to be talking about Ireola, Arteta as well, and some other managers later down the line that could be very good managers to use for your assistant manager if you're not planning on playing this week. Also, it is worth noting this as well. These are the potential of the confirmed double game weeks and blank game weeks for the game weeks this week. Now, ignore that double game week 25. There is no double game week in 25, but obviously it's double game week 24. We're then going to have another double game week in game week 33, which are going to be the teams that blank in 29. And then we're going to have a double game week in 36, which are teams that are going to be blanking in 34. We don't know who they are going to be yet. In the blank game week 29, it's going to be the teams in the Carabao Cup, whoever goes to the final. It could be Liverpool, it could be Spurs. And then in the other game, it could be Arsenal or Newcastle. It looks like it probably will be Newcastle in that match. And then the blank game in 24 is a semi-finalist of the FA Cup. And the FA Cup, obviously, we're still in the early rounds right now. We don't know exactly who that's going to be. And then it will obviously be the opponents as well of the teams in game week 29 that will then double in 33. And the opponents of the teams in blank game week 34. That will then double in 36. So we have a decent amount of choice in terms of what teams to pick and what players to pick in terms of maybe a triple captain, in terms of our bench boost, in terms of our assistant managership as well. So for me, as you can see, there's only 3 double game weeks that we have: game week 24, game week 33, and game week 36. So we are going to be wanting to play our chips in all of those situations. Now we have the bench boost that you probably want to play in a double game week. We have the assistant managership that you want to play in a double game week, and then you also have obviously the triple captain that you want to play in the double game week. So if you've got all 3 chips available, I would say you've got to be using a chip in this double game week 24. Now, I personally think the best chip to use would probably be the triple captain chip, but the assistant manager chip isn't too far behind. It's just a fixture. We'll talk about the 2 managers in detail in a second, and the transfer plans maybe for those managers. But I do think you need to be playing a chip this week if you are planning, or if you have got all your chips available. I think that's the best thing to do. Me personally, I've already used my triple captaincy chip, so I'm not in desperate need to play any chip this week. I would love to play my triple captain this week. If I had my triple captain available, I would be playing it, but unfortunately, I'm not in that position. So what better way is this to start off by talking about David Moyes? He's getting a lot of talk about him right now after that 19 points that he dropped last week against Brighton, and with a double game week obviously against Leicester and Liverpool, that's a decent week. That's a decent opportunity for David Moyes to potentially get some points. You would probably expect Everton to beat Leicester. I know Leicester beat Spurs last week, but Spurs are absolutely tragic. David Moyes and Everton seem to have turned a corner since Moyes has been appointed. A clean sheet in the last match as well. It's a good opportunity for a win there. Leicester at home is probably a fixture, other than Southampton. You'd probably say that's a very nice fixture, and probably Spurs themselves, who obviously Everton beat last week as well. You'd probably say Leicester is right up there with the best fixture you can possibly get. Liverpool is an opportunity for a table bonus draw, table bonus win. Who knows? It is a derby day. The games are normally quite close between Liverpool and Everton. And Everton will definitely give them a game under David Moyes. They're going to be solid at the back. And as I say, it's a derby day. There's no walkover Everton, I think, for Liverpool in this game, especially how it's at Goodison Park as well. And the table bonus draw will be actually a very good amount of points for David Moyes. So it's definitely an opportunity in game week 24 for some big points for David Moyes. Potentially like a 10-pointer with a win. And then also maybe like another 10-pointer if they can maybe nick a draw against Liverpool, which wouldn't be too bad at all. So as I say, that's definitely an opportunity for David Moyes. Beyond that, unfortunately, there is no table winning bonus there's no table bonus for Crystal Palace or Man United due to the fact that they're not 5 places ahead. If Crystal Palace had beaten Brentford at the weekend, then it would have been a table bonus, but unfortunately that's not the case anymore. Brentford have now gone too far clear of Crystal Palace, which means there'll be no chance of a table bonus for Everton and for David Moyes. So, and it's the same against United as well in game week 26. They're not going to be table bonus wins, and they're not the most ideal fixtures. Crystal Palace have turned a corner, I think, a bit under Oliver Glasner in recent weeks, and they're looking quite good. Mateta's playing well, Eze's getting back into form, and they're solid at the back with Gahey and Lacroix as well. So Palace are no easy game in game week 25, which would put me off a little bit off David Moyes there. And then Man United in game week 26. It's a decent enough fixture, to be fair. United are looking pretty poor, to be honest, under Amorim. It's not a bad game, but they're not table winning bonus. They're not amazing fixtures. They're just okay fixtures, I would say. As for Arne Slot, who's also, of course, very, very popular ahead of the double game week. He's the most selected manager right now with 44% ownership. Bournemouth and Everton, they're two very tricky games in my opinion. Bournemouth have been smashing teams left, right and centre right now, and they're coming into it with full confidence, especially at Bournemouth Stadium. It's going to be a very, very tough game for Liverpool in my opinion. And Everton, as I discussed before, I think it'll be a close game. It won't be, as I say, Everton aren't a walkover for Liverpool in the slightest. But saying that, if you were to predict it, you would still put Liverpool to win both of those matches. I just don't think they're going to be easy matches in the slightest. But I still think Liverpool will do quite well against Bournemouth and Everton personally. I think they'll still get goals. Liverpool always score goals. Like, no matter what. They've got Salah, Gakpo. They've got so many players that have the potential. Trent even at the back can come forward and get assists. Just going forward, they're an absolute joke, realistically. Even Luis Diaz, who hasn't been in great form recently, still an unbelievable player. So I still do expect Liverpool to come away with points. It's just, for me, I'd rather have a triple Liverpool in my personal team. That's why I've got Gakpo, Alexander-Arnold and Salah. But if you don't have triple Liverpool and you are looking to use a chip this week and you're not confident in triple captain Salah, Arne Slot, I think, is very, very valid as the assistant manager chip. He is quite expensive, obviously, as well, 1.5 million, so you will have to have that money in the bank. But then you look at a game week 25 Wolves, it's a perfect fixture. That is right there. You'd obviously just keep hold of Arne Slot. You'd expect Liverpool to absolutely steamroll Wolves. And Wolves, I'm not going to lie, the Wolves' defence is absolutely terrible. They're a bunch of clowns at the back. So that's a great opportunity for goals, potential clean sheet as well. You could be looking at some decent points for Arne Slot right there. Man City, of course, is a little bit of a problem. City are starting to come back into form. They've made a few signings. Mamouche looked good in his debut, and they're starting to click back into gear, in my opinion, Man City are now. And that could be a very important game by the time it gets to game week 26, with Man City probably, if they want any chance of winning the title, which is very, very, very unlikely, but they would absolutely have to beat Liverpool in that match. So it's definitely not going to be an easy game for Liverpool, especially at the Etihad. So that there is a little bit of a problem. So let's look at some managers that you could potentially move to if you are going to play David Moyes or Arne Slot in game week 24. So if you're looking to play David Moyes, a potential move could be obviously use him in game week 24 for that double game week, of course. And then game week 25, you could maybe go to a Mikel Arteta, who's playing against Leicester and West Ham. Those are two fixtures that you really would expect Arsenal to win. Obviously, West Ham isn't the easiest of fixtures right now. Graham Potter, I think West Ham have looked a lot better and played a lot better football since Graham Potter's come in. Leicester, you would expect Arteta and Arsenal to absolutely steamroll them. To be honest, you should at least expect a comfortable win in that match. So West Ham's a little bit dodgy, but Leicester's a very good fixture. But the one that I actually prefer is moving to Ireola in game week 25. It's been well documented, the Bournemouth fixture swing in game week 25 after this Liverpool game that they have. It's a very nice run for Bournemouth. And Ireola playing against Southampton, like, come on. Southampton are a record-breaking Premier League team the way that they're going in terms of lowest points in a Premier League season. So Ireola has surely got to be a Bournemouth win in that game. If you were to predict any team to win in game week 25, I genuinely think Bournemouth will already be the team that would be the most confident people would be in winning in game week 25. So Southampton is a great fixture. And then Wolves as well. They concede so many goals. Opportunity for goals for Bournemouth and another win as well. So you're looking at 2 games today that you're pretty confident in Ireola getting a result. So then you could go from David Moyes to ireola in game 25, and then go for them 2 fixtures against Southampton and Wolves, which I just think are just such a good option in terms of the game week 25 and 26. I don't think there's a better manager. And you could also say as well for Arne slot, that's the same. You could go to game week 26, you can go to Wolves as well. You could also say go to Arteta as well. Yeah, with Arne slot, you've got 1.5 million, so you can literally go to any manager you want. And you could, again, go for ireola against Wolves because, as I say, there's a good opportunity for goals. So going to them managers, I think Arne slot is simple. If you go for Arne slot, I think stick with him until game week 25, play that game against Wolves for Liverpool, and then go for a different manager in 26 just to be extra safe that Arne slot does pick up. Just so your assistant manager does pick up a decent amount of points, because you never know what could happen in that City versus Liverpool game. And then for David Moyes, I think it's just a simple move, probably to ireola, because you get more nailed on wins than it is for Everton, who play against Crystal Palace and Man United, that aren't obviously as nailed wins as what you'd think for ireola versus Southampton and Wolves. So as I say, I think I will be playing a chip this week. If I had all my 3 chips available, I will probably be playing my triple captaincy chip as the first chip. I'd be playing on Salah. I'd just go for it, and then it will be the assistant manager chip. But if you wanted to go for assistant manager chip, I'm absolutely not against it, because it could go very well for you. But me personally, I'd rather wait and see how people get on with this assistant manager and see how it kind of plays out for other people. It's a new chip. We don't know how it's exactly going to play out with these managers. So if you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.